Welcome everybody. Welcome to this afternoon's webinar, which is sponsored by Solytics. Let's get my script up. Okay, seconds. My name is Stephen Cartle. I'm the editorial director at Clarion Gaming, and I'll be chairing today's IGB webinar. The webinar with Solytics today, hosted with Solytics today, will discuss retention or frustration, avoiding retention pitfalls of real-time data. In an industry where regulation is getting stricter and differentiating yourself is getting harder, driving up retention with high LTV players and increasing revenues is a challenge. Being armed with the right data and a personalized engagement strategy is vital in creating a unique customer experience and will help you get ahead of the competition. Today's webinar will look at how you can achieve this. Our panel for today consists of Harel Falk, who is VP of Sales for Solytics. We also have Ivan Lyashenko, as well as who is Chief Marketing Officer of Parimatch. We also have Peter Hall, Head of Customer. Sorry, we have Isabella Avidar as well from Delasport, who's there, and we have Matias as well, who is Head of Marketing for Emerging Markets for the Betson Group. I'm going to let them all introduce themselves more fully shortly. Before we sort of go to introductions, I'd like to say there's going to be a Q&A section following the presentations, so please do submit questions as we go along, and we'll try to address as many of them as possible in the allocated time. Right, who wants to go first with the introductions? Should we start with you, Harel?
Sure thing. No, I'll be happy to. So, hello everyone. My name is Harel. I head up all the business development and sales at Solytics. I've been with the company for almost 3 years now. Solytics is a customer engagement and analytics platform that enables organizations to create the most personal customer experience on the basis of their data in real time and without the long, hard, and expensive data project that is usually involved. And glad to be here and ready to get started.
Okay, we start with Matias. Do you want to go next?
Hi everyone, my name is Matias. I work at Betson. I'm the head of marketing for the emerging markets, and then my main role at Betson Group is to drive traffic to our new markets, as well as also work with the emerging markets team to find new revenues for the group.
Perfect. Ivan, should we go you next? Can you hear okay? Oh, Isabella, should we skip to you?
Sure. Hi.
Yeah.
So I'm Isabella, and I'm head of business development in Delasport. And Delasport is a leading A-class sports betting and casino platform provider. And our main goal is to help our partners, which are iGaming operators, to establish a successful brand and to generate high long-term revenues from our partnerships. So I'm happy to be here and looking forward.
Thank you very much, Isabella. Ivan, should we come back to you? How's your sound going?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, because I was muted. Yeah. Nice to meet you. I'm Ivan. I am Chief Marketing Officer of Parimatch Holding. We are currently operating in plenty of countries. Yeah, for example, for sure, the main target of my work, the same as Matias have. Yeah, I also responsible for driving traffic to all our products in stable markets, higher regulated markets, and emerging markets as well. But retention is a pain for me as well, because it correlates a lot with LTV. So I'm happy to speak with you today, because I have a lot to tell and a lot to hear, I guess. Thank you.
Fantastic, thank you. Right, I'm just going to go straight to my first question and get in there, sort of set the scene really. Sort of what are the industry's biggest retention challenges and pitfalls at the moment? Who wants to kick that one off? Should we go to, okay, let's see who's most ready. Harel, do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll be happy to start. So I think that for a long time in the industry, there was a big focus on acquisition. And I think that over the past few years, focus has started to shift into more of the retention side for a lot of reasons, whether it's regulation or rising costs of acquisition and so on. And I think that today, as far as the retention world, there are a few issues with it. First of all, a slight lack of creativity. It's very difficult to differentiate yourself today in a world where a lot of the retention is done on daily campaigns and granting of bonuses. So I think that there's a lot of work in progress to be done around that. And I think there's also a problem with the use of data in that area to create better personalization and give customers a different experience than and very personal one. So as far as I see it, there should be and there are new tools that operators and platforms can use today in order to create a much more wholesome experience. And it's something that we look at it as, sort of integrating it into the whole product vision and not just marketing aspects of the business. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Who'd like to take that question next? Should we go to Isabella? Want to take this one?
Sure. Hi. From a B2B provider perspective, I think that the biggest challenges, as Raul just mentioned, for operators, it's player acquisition costs, extremely high competition, and brand loyalty. So, for example, in sports betting, when average sports punters, they have from 6 to 8 different accounts and different bookies, and also players are looking for attractive promotions. They are comparing odds. This makes really hard to generate good player value for operator. And what really can make a difference is to be in the right place at the right time to stand up with your brand and appealing promotion, especially in sport betting customers and casino as well. Real-time engagement, people like to watch games, to bet at the same time. And that's how marketing automation is, providing personalized approach to every customer, and also reduces revenues for sales, retention staff, and this is very important for every operation from my side.
Thanks, Isabella. Matias, what's your view on this from the Betson perspective?
I'd definitely have to agree with excuse me, I have to agree with Harel and Isabella on this. It's obviously the increased costs and acquisition always make it more challenging, and it's all, as much as you drive all this beautiful traffic to your site, it's all about retaining it. So that's where you kind of build this nice full loop in your entire marketing approach, where you're paying high costs with affiliates who can bring you the volume of traffic, but it's important to retain it. Just like Isabella said, you have an average sports bettor who can have 6 to 8 different betting accounts. So how are you going to stand out? How are you going to make sure they deposit more money with you? And that all comes down to retention, having the right flows in place. And this is obviously the purpose of this talk today, is that real-time data allows you to make more agile and more accurate decisions in how to increase that LTV.
Okay, thanks, Matias. Ivan, so what do you see as the biggest retention challenges in pitfalls from your perspective?
From my side, I would say that I see 2 biggest challenges. The one challenge is the regulations, because they're getting more and more stricter from year to year, and it just puts all the aspects of our business to the troubles here from the one side, but we're learning how to make it the right way. And the second big problem is not only the gambling and betting market problem, but also the problem of marketing, of acquisition around the world. There's the issue with the third-party cookies, IDFAs, and all this stuff that forces us not to do acquisition as good as it was the previous years. So from this side, I see retention and all this thing with CRM and the good opportunity to work with nearest years, because basically it's not about cookies, it's not about third parties. We just have a lot of data that we can use very wisely and basically be within the GDPR and all other regulations that forces us not to use, not to give the data about our customers to others. So that's a wonderful thing about the retention. But from the other prospect, the thing is, when one more time, Matias talked about the affiliates. Yeah, when we're talking about the revenue share affiliates, for example, yeah, the more you invest in retention, you have the double cost when you're counting out your ROI, basically, because you pay them the same revenue share, but you have the cost of retention of all these bonus offers on your side. So that's 2.5 biggest problems as I see it.
Thanks, Ivan. It's obviously very crowded and competitive out there, with lots of brands competing for players' attention. I mean, how do you go about differentiating yourself in this sort of highly competitive iGaming era? We'd like to take this one first. Shall we go to? Okay, why don't we go to Harel on that one? Start with that one, Harel. Sure
thing. So, and actually, it's very interesting what Ivan just said, which is regarding the rev share on the affiliates cost, because it's true, you have to pay them as you keep going, and then you're also paying the bonuses. And I think the fact that this webinar that we're doing right now is sort of a direct, as far as I see it, a direct sort of continuation to a previous webinar we did, which was about bonusing and the new age of bonuses and types of new bonuses you can give. But I think that if operators, and that is part of personalization, by the way, if you're talking about new bonuses. But if I look at operators today and how they want to differentiate themselves, again, it's going back to that creativity. Everybody gives bonuses today. A lot of the games are, well, a lot of the games are very, very similar. The design of the lobby and things like that is a bit different, but they'll get pretty much a lot of the games, same games, in different brands. So how do you differentiate yourself in that sense? I think it's about creating the whole experience for that, and not just giving them bonuses, not just adding more games, which is it's a part of the product, but it's not the solution. If you really want to stand out in the crowd, it's making your customers feel at home. And when it's just like your favorite coffee shop, right? You're not necessarily going there because the coffee is the best. You're going there because the whole experience, the music, the lighting, how they how they talk to you, how the person in the cash register talks to you. It's sort of the whole experience, right? So in the online gaming for casino, sports betting, and so on, I think that it's about sort of the experience. It's being there for the customer in real time, and that's one of the biggest keys here. In real time, for when something happens, or if he gets stuck, or if he has a bad experience, it's about recommending to him the best things that are in line with his personal experience and his personal favorite games. If you use that data, if you use your data in real time, and if you're able to actually touch the customer in the right places when it matters, and also create that sort of seamless transition from the offline to the online, when he's online and playing versus when he's offline, that's exactly the thing that's he's gonna love you. He's gonna be there. He's not even gonna know why, but he's gonna keep coming back because he's getting this good feeling. In the online gaming world, not everybody wins all the time. I know it might be shocking to a lot of people here, but I heard that sometimes people lose, and that's part of the game, right? So being there, it's not just about giving the bonus. It's about creating the whole customer experience and using the data. This is what we enable our customers to do today.
Matias, do you want to go next on this one, on the differentiation question?
So yeah, so in terms of trying to stand out in an industry which is extremely competitive, I believe, as Harel said, it's all about the experience, and it's also sort of creating behaviors of customers that you can sort of control, incentivize, and what we call sort of leveling up. I think if you look back a few years ago, if you went onto any promotions page, you'd find an offer for a sort of a new customer and an average customer and a VIP sort of customer. that sort of three segments doesn't really exist anymore. It's all about sort of nurturing customers on multiple levels, and that's where personalization comes in. Ultimately, if you're an average customer who normally comes in and deposits 20 euros, and the next offer up is a minimum deposit of 100 euros, they're probably not going to take it. But if it's 25, they're probably more likely to do that. Now, from an ATL point of view, it will be very hard to sort of make it engaging when you're going to have a promotions page with 100 different offers for everybody, for every tier up to 5 euros. But when automation comes into place and BTL campaigns allow you to sort of give these tailored offers, talk to customers in different way, nurture behaviors that sort of allow customers to increase their value over time. And as well as this, I think it will ultimately give an overall better experience, because you don't feel that you're playing above your means. You're still having a good time. The real-time data that you're using is being fed back to you, knowing what games you want to play with. Ultimately, I think as a marketeer, it's important to be a customer yourself. You can't tell somebody to buy something if you've never tried it. So it's very important to feel the product, and once you know that, you can sell it better. And especially gambling, the industry itself has its highs and its lows. It's emotional, so it's important to resonate with people on those levels. Just why you're going back with bonusing, when you want to feed back bonuses to the right customers because they've lost. Sometimes it's also nice to get a bonus because you've won. You don't want to be treated with a bonus just because you're losing all the time. You want to be fed with a bonus because you're a good customer. So it's sort of instilling this sort of culture that the gaming industry is not this negative sort of world. We're actually in the entertainment industry. So ultimately, it's all about having fun in a safe way and allowing customers to come back and stay with us for a long time.
Thanks, Matias. Ivan? From the panel?
Yeah, I would say two things. The first thing is talking about the differentiation. Yeah, the one how to do it fast and with quite a few effort. Yeah, I would say just double your expenses and effort for the design team. Yeah, because this thing it's quite cheap, quite easy to implement, but it works out just like Ferrari car, I would say. And the second thing, of course, is about customer experience, as previous speaker said. But what I want to say about the customer experience, yeah, we as a multinational brand, multicultural brand, yeah, we see that you can make a good product, but nevertheless, it will be used in different cultures the other way. So that's not only the thing about like to be the love mark for your design, for example, for your I don't know, payment systems you have and so on, but it's all about to be familiar to customers. The good example of this, I would say, multicultural approach. Multicultural, not like differentiating from of one brand to different cultures, is that livescore.com, as far as I know, launched their own betting company. Yeah, it's quite a good thing because livescore.com is widely known and like a good from the side of customer experience and comfortable, cozy interface for a lot of punters all around the world. So basically, it's a good example of customer experience coming not from betting, but from the other industry. But what we have to do, yeah, just to find ways to find this customer experience for every country we operate in. For example, we can look at Bet365, yeah, operating in plenty of countries, yeah, but still the product is quite the same. Yeah, and I think the next big thing is to understand how to be to fit every market you're in.
Thank you, Ivan. Isabella, from the Della Sport perspective.
Sure. So today, what our operators are looking for, there's a number of important aspects. Of course, it's a front-end user experience, mobile-first development approach, innovative platform, payments, sophisticated CRM, and of course, customer support and retention. All these together makes a successful brand, and that's what differentiates ourselves in this iGaming jungle. And so the successful brand knows how to engage its customers, and how to, what helps us marketing automation. It reduces us operational costs. It makes sure we engage every single customer at the highest level. In terms of marketing costs, the budget that we spend on media and affiliate sources, and if our player is not good enough, we will not be able to work with the biggest affiliates, and that's what will determine if we will succeed or fail. This is really important. So we always learn, from what we have, always try to improve, to optimize our results, to see what worked better, what didn't work, always trying to optimize. And this is how we can differentiate ourselves today in our business.
Actually, Stephen, if you don't mind, there is one thing I wanted to comment on regarding what Ivan said. Ivan said before, which is, it's an important point to bring up. He said, bring in more developers, bring in more designers, and spend more money on, creating on the product. And spending money on the product is a necessary and important thing. But I think that it does bring up a very important point where taking your product to the next level, creating personalization is a very, very a large resource undertaking. It's a big project. It takes a long time. In fact, it doesn't end. It's a big technological challenge I think a lot of operators are facing today. And I think that in order to take their personalization to the next step and using the to have their data even available in real time, not to mention then how you actually use that, they either have to spend a lot of money, and again, it can take years to build, and it can take, it's a never-ending project, or they can find solutions out there that can help them do that in very fast. So it is an important point to bring up that operators do face a big technological challenge in aspects of personalization in real time.
Thanks, Aurel. That takes me on nicely to the next question, which is on personalization. So, which is something you hear about all the time these days in relation to so many areas of iGaming businesses. But the question to the panel is, how do you take a personalized approach to each marketing touch point through the customer journey? Do you want to take that one first? Let's start with Ivan this time on this one.
Yes, thank you for the question. Look, let's take the customer journey as an acquisition or a retaining customer journey, because basically it starts from the media source. It's like banner place or something like that. We now launched the system that helps us to mark all our customers with all their IDs in different advertising networks. So we basically match our customers at the moment when the serving gives them the banner. So we made it also with a partner. It's understood that it's quite impossible to do by themselves, by the operator, betting the operator. So we had this development with a partner. So it's the first big thing for us. So as for now, we can understand just is this the new customer or returning customer? And when you have like 80 to 90 advertising networks every month, it's quite important that you can match all the customers between them. The second thing is, of course, about landing page that may lead them either to the welcome offer or just like today is the match. I don't know, like Chelsea Liverpool is today, and go and make a bet at this match. But the main stuff I would say that we now have about personalization, that we have a so-called, we call it internally top widget. We call it a widget because when you have made some bets at very much, you will now have it at the main page, the matches that of your favorite teams, of your favorite sports, and so on. So it's a quite important thing that if you are a Liverpool fan, you don't have to find the match that will be tonight, because it will be the first that you see on the main page. you have to do at least, I can't remember for sure, 5 or 8 stakes here, so we can segment you the right way. But it's not about segmentation, this stuff about the personalization. But I think it marvelous basically. But talking about the advertisement, I don't think that the nearest year we will come to the real personalization, but I think we will come to good segmentation. Now we have like developing the service of we call it DCO, basically it's dynamic creative optimization, but it both the conversion optimization and optimization due to which customers are coming to see the advertisement and go further to customer journey. Yeah, but basically, yeah, that thing we're talking about the classic customer journey from media sources. Talking about the traffic that we get from CRM activities, yeah, what widely called retention all over the world, yeah, I would say that from my side, we are very far from perfection with it. Of course, we have Salesforce as a CRM, and we always thought that Salesforce may solve all our problems. Of course, it's solving the part of problems, but you have to have your own approach here. You know, Salesforce is not the betting CRM that know everything about football, hockey, rugby, and so on. Yeah, so you have to rule it the right way. So now we are like, we have the Salesforce, we have good segments, but I think that we are just made 2 steps out of home, and the journey is quite long.
Okay, thanks, Ivan. Isabella, I mean, sort of, how is Della Sport taking a more personalized approach to its marketing touchpoints through the customer journey?
Sure. So, you know, when we have a new partner, onboarding new partner, and we always have very deep strategical, you know, meetings to understand what is their approach, what market they would like to succeed in. We always look about the strategy, localization, what bonuses are applicable in the specific markets, you know, area, which what kind of punters or casino players they are, what are games that are you know, popular in this area. So all this big marketing plan that we're building, and when thinking how we can make sure you know, to make it work. So of course it's about bonus, like very sophisticated bonus structure, loyalty, rewards, you know, like personal connection with the player to see that we know everything about what are their preferences, and let's say if there's some kind of game or I don't know, tennis or whatever is taking place and it's his favorite player, so we would like to, you know, to send a push notification, and all these combined are what helps to create a successful brand. So this is our customer journey.
Thanks, Isabella. And finally to you, Matias, that question.
Oh, thanks. So I think when it comes to personalization across marketing touchpoints, I think it does very much start from the acquisition side, breaking it down on a channel level. So whether you're acquiring a customer through social media or affiliation or PPC, I think it's very important to understand the entire journey that user takes from the moment they are interested in to the moment you acquire them, and then how do you plan to retain them, because all those customers have different levels of intent. If you're a customer coming in from an affiliate, depending on the traffic source of that affiliate, it could maybe be a customer they take a bit longer to sign up, so they register, and they take a bit longer to actually deposit, but then when they do deposit, they actually do stay. So understanding that journey allows you to personalize the content within that journey. Do you need to be more aggressive with your bonusing to try and convert them a bit earlier? Do you need to maybe shorten the length of your actual NRC or NDC flow? So these are all the sort of things you take into consideration. That's on the acquisition side. And then when looking at the retention, it's also targeted offers for these different sources. So you know that, for example, the average customer coming in from SEO, maybe a bit of a casual player, sort of more lower value. You maybe just, it's all about engagement. It's probably just about increasing time on site for them, just kind of really getting more familiar with the site. Where if you have a high value customer coming in through an affiliate site for sports, and they maybe just want to get that bigger bonus in, they want to get tagged straight away as a sort of a preferred or VIP customer. They want to have that one-to-one sales with an account manager straight away. So tagging the customers from the moment they come in, using that real-time data to sort of understand where we can position these customers and then put them into the correct flows. So I think that's the way we'd like to look at it at Betson, is how we can personalize and increase the customer life cycle.
Thanks, Matias. Harel, do you have anything to add following the others, from the perspectives added by Matias, Ivan, and Isabella on this, on the personalization?
Yes, I appreciate that. I think that working with real-time data, which is the first thing you want to do when you want to take a personalized approach to to the personalization, to the journey, which it does it does start during the acquisition and then through the conversion and onwards through the retention and so on. So first thing you want to do is you want to make that data available to use, and once you do that, it opens up a whole world of options, including new channels such as on-screen messaging that is very personal and contextual to what the customer does or doesn't do, and it can come up in the forms of pop-ups, for example, and so on. And also, it enables you to create much more sophisticated strategies and tactics. For example, not just having trigger response and then trigger response, but actually being able to create much more complex triggers that depend on a number of events. So you can create a much more sophisticated strategy. So, for example, if we take a look at what Analytics today enables operators that work with us to do, and this is pretty much from day one when they go live, it's to be there for the customer right at the right moment. For example, if it's sports betting, players have an open, the players bet on a game. Now the odds have changed. You want to automatically raise a notification telling them that. Then you want to target then also the players that this is their favorite team, but they still haven't made a bet. This is the kind of thing that you can create these very, very personalized strategies from day one. And or on the casino world, when he lost a certain a customer now lost over a certain amount at that very moment, and he just made his first time deposit yesterday, so it's a very sensitive customer. You want to raise a pop-up right there and automatically, and offer him a personal incentive or a recommendation for a different game that could be in line with what he's playing right now. This is the kind of personalization that you should do. And then the next time he sort of comes back, when you do get him, it's that welcome message with the relevant games, the favorite sports team, it's all that kind of stuff. That creates an incredible level of customer satisfaction, personalization, and not just a great bonusing strategy. And by the way, regarding what Ivan said, I think that's an important point. You need to bring in a tailored solution for this vertical that knows and works well here. And there, it's not about magic; it's about technology, and the work is very hard. And bringing in, and really a lot of respect to Salesforce and everything, but it's not enough. Obviously, you're going to have to bring in something that can help you from day one. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself developing and onwards and on, all the time. So.
Thanks, Harel. So this one I want to move on and just look at just the other panelists and just ask them, what role is real-time data playing in creating a unique customer journey in their businesses now? So we start with you on that, Matias?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, obviously real-time data is absolutely crucial. I think depending on the actual segment you're talking to, it has even greater importance. So if we look at the VIP segment, it's absolutely crucial that when a customer is having a good time, you can either sort of be very aware that you should sort of leave him to it, or do you actually want to sort of incentivize him? Do you want to pull back? And that real-time data is going to allow you to make these sort of decisions. Obviously, this is from a personalized one-to-one approach when you're talking to an account manager. But then the moment you bring in automations, like Harel said, that allows you to talk to customers in different ways. So real-time data is, I think, as mentioned, it is technology. It is the way forward. And the days of the dark age when you have one content writer writing out 20 different communications, we're a bit way past that. And but it's absolutely crucial that you find the right balance of how you approach and how you use this real-time data, because there's this fine line of spam and over engaging a customer while trying to sort of increase lifetime value of a customer. So it's all about the balance. But I believe real-time data allows you to, it enables you to sort of create an automation that can really increase lifetime value.
Thanks, Matias. Ivan, do you want to take this one next?
Yeah, you know, I may be in opposition to the other panelists, but nevertheless, from my side, I think that real-time data is like brand of AWS for all the businesses to buy more of cloud servers and so on. Because when we're talking about the real-time data, so in the second one, yeah, it's all about quite a huge amount of money when you're talking about the big products, a big customer base, to make it really real time. So talking about very much, we are okay with from 10 to 15 minutes delay. In some services of CRM and acquisition, we have like 3-5 minutes delay, but we are basically not just saying that it have to be only real time. And as for now, we don't see so much difference here in profits when you make it second one for one amount of money, and on the third minute just we can't see that we like have less revenue because of that. Maybe we don't have enough information for that. Maybe we have too much of customer base to do that. So I don't know, but that's the point of view. But what I would say more, yeah, basically what Harel said, yeah, when you have like CRM system that is tailored for the industry, yeah, it may help you because it may learn from the other operators and different markets how this customer behave just after the few clicks. But when you're talking about not like when you don't have such an expertise, you can wait like for the first bet, and after the first bet to make all the necessary analysis and outcomes. So that's my point of view.
Just to jump in here, I agree with Ivan on this, because obviously real-time data is usable to a certain extent. So it's, as mentioned, going back to the statement on VIP, it's just knowing when to use it or when not to use it. So it's trying to find that fine line of, do you justify huge overheads and huge costs to get that second-to-second real-time data, or are you happy with a 1 to 3 to 5 minute window that allows you to sort of see data quickly, make a quick decision, and then execute?
Yeah, I don't know what's in your company with risk management, but when we're talking about the VIP players, yeah, in our company, it may take some time manually from the risk management just to approve that they are ready to play, for example, on the big limits with a particular customer. So partly it may be automated, it may be made the second one, but sometimes it anyway needs like a manual approval. Maybe we are quite outdated in some stuff, but still it saves money.
I think when it comes to VIPs, yes, you also are right. Obviously, when amounts go over certain thresholds, things need to be done in a manual process to ensure everything's above board. But yes, there is automation in play, obviously, but with big amounts, then this process is to follow.
Actually, I would like to add what both of you guys said, and I agree with a lot of what you said. But I think it's, you know, we enable today our operators, our customers today, to respond within 1.8 seconds to any behavior change of data, no matter where that data comes from, and they don't have to spend huge budgets on that. But it's not about just using real-time live data. It's also about doing it in the right time. So that's where the right customer journey comes in, and being smart with the data and not just, okay, let's go and give them that, data right there. It's about being, it's about responding in real time and the right time as well. So, when you combine a sophisticated strategy with that's combined with more, not just simple triggers, but more complex triggers that looks at his whole historical behavior of that player and how he's behaving now, and a certain segment that he belongs to, plus the different member attributes that he has. If you could take all those into consideration, then you'll know how to build a strategy where it's responding live, and but by the way, what we've seen from operators that responding live when he loses versus responding even 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later, there's a big difference in the retention rate. That's from dozens of operators I can recall now. So there is a difference, but again, it is about both the real time, but also the right time, sophisticated strategy, and taking into account all the data across all the different data sources. And it's an expensive project to do unless again, that's what we enable them to do. Our operators today have legacy systems, distributed data sources. Some are outdated, some are cutting edge, but that's what we help them overcome.
Isabella, just something to add on this?
Yeah, just you said so much in detail, really very deep understanding. Just I was thinking that last year when everyone, were at home mostly, and real-time data was really useful, that you could engage players all the time. So yeah, I just want to join everything that you just mentioned. It's extremely important, and last year's all this advancement with the technology that we can target players and at such a highest level, and we all the information that we gather in advance, and then we can really use it and to make sure that we stand out, and our players are coming back, and they want to be loyal to our brand. All this, of course, is crucial for every operator, and everyone wants to succeed with this technology, no doubt. So it's amazing.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Isabella. We did a bit of assessment through from the audience, actually. So I just realised I was going to ask the panel. You're happy to take it. I remember I sent it to all the audience. This question came in from Monia Russo, and her question is, how can real-time data be used when the CRM process is going towards a full automation of the campaigns? Do you want to take that one, Harel?
Yeah, could you just repeat the question, please?
Of course. Monia has asked, how can real-time data be used when the CRM process is going towards a full automation of the campaigns?
Well, that's exactly where you want the real-time data. If you want to get to do full automation, and you don't want it to be just dumb, so to speak, triggers that he clicked and he does, and he clicked and you respond. That's exactly where you need that real-time data. You need to respond contextually, personally. You want to do it live, and the data changes all the time. So the key here is to work with raw data, first of all, not work with only aggregated data. You want to use raw data. You want to take in data from the front end, from the website, the mobile app. You want to connect to the back office. You want to do the gaming platform, the third-party content, the sports streams, the odds streams. You want to combine all into one. You want a system that's able to work with that raw data and connect it all together, and then do full automation of the campaigns, the journeys, and everything. And that's and switch sort of over from the mass communication emails that a lot of the operators are doing today, the daily emails and so on, to more of a personalized one-on-one communication. I think Matias said that as well, and I absolutely agree. So that's how you want to use you want to combine that data for the full automation. And it's not just, by the way, marketing automation. It's support automation, opening a ticket when something goes wrong, or if something needs to be handled. And it can also be sales automation and other things as well.
Thanks, Harel. Is everybody else got anything to add on that one? Okay. So I've come to the end of my questions actually. This goes out to the audience really. If you've got any more questions, now's the time to send them in to our expert panelists to answer this. So we're looking at everything else. Okay. All right. Well, I think we've covered quite a lot of ground today. Is there anything else the panelists think that needs covering that we haven't really that we could cover now, or do you think we can draw conclusions to draw it to a close? Okay. All right then. Okay, I'm just going to finish there then. I'd just like to sort of thank all our expert panelists today for a great discussion. And also just thank you very much to all our panelists, to Harel, to Ivan, to Matias, and also to Isabella as well for joining us and sharing your insights. Today's webinar has been recorded and we're available to listen to on demand shortly on iGamingbusiness.com for you to rewatch and share with your colleagues. Otherwise, we'll see you all back here soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you all. Thank you all for attending as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Yeah, bye-bye.